Physics as we know it today was not the same a few hundred years ago. Actual wars were fought between the scientific community and a peculiar villain known as the Catholic Church. Though it cannot be actually considered as a dark age, as it is more of a religious war, but since scientific growth was stunned during the period of time, we can consider it as a dark age. So let's discuss about the dark age. It was Ptolemy in 450 BC who first proposed the geocentric theory of the universe, in which the Earth was at the center of everything and all other heavenly bodies rotated around it. Ptolemy's theory became popular and word spread about his greatness. The church loved him since his theory actually emphasized the importance of humans to God. But it was Nicolaus Copernicus, after years of dedicated research, who discovered that the Earth was not at the center of the universe and the Sun was at the center of the solar system, not even at the universal level. But due to his fear of persecution from the church, he did not publish his findings to great extents, and he would have pissed off Ptolemy a lot, but Ptolemy was too stiff to object. You get it? But word did spread about Nicolaus Copernicus' theory, and it actually reached the right person, Galileo Galilei. He actually believed in the heliocentric theory and was ready to fight the church for it. And he actually did something no man ever had done before. He actually made a telescope which could zoom things up to 12 times, and he pointed it to the sky unlike anyone had ever done before. He actually saw 4 of the largest moons of Jupiter. He saw canyons, peaks, valleys, mountains on the surface of the moon. He actually described an ear-lobed planet, which after greater findings turned out to be just Saturn. And he was also the first person to see Neptune, but it was so far away that he thought it was a star and didn't give much interest. He also saw dark spots on the surface of the sun. A mild warning: please do not try this at home. Even Galileo himself went blind a few years before his death due to staring at the sun too much. Galileo published his findings and actually promoted that the church should believe in the heliocentric theory since more and more proof was accumulating. But the church refused to look through any telescope in the entire country, and Galileo was sent into house arrest where he later died. The same year Galileo died, a new scientific genius was born. He was unlike anything the world had ever seen, his name being Sir Isaac Newton. When Cambridge was forced to close its doors due to a plague epidemic in Europe, Newton was forced to go back to his mother's farm where he studied about the diffraction and refraction of light, but the most important incident being an apple falling on his head. But there is no proof that the apple fell on his head, since all he ever said was, "It occurred to me by the fall of an apple," meaning he could have witnessed an apple fall rather than making it fall on his head. He then devised the 3 laws of motion, which was groundbreaking at the time, because until then everyone believed in the law that Aristotle had stated, being that every object in the universe tried to be at rest until it was acted upon by an external force. But though it is close to Newton's laws, he also believed that every object in the entire universe was either made out of earth, air, fire, water, or all the other objects made out of either. Gravity was shunned as just a theory even inside the scientific community. Newton had to wait years just for his comrade Robert Hooke to die so that he could publish his works, since Robert Hooke was against him. It was his great friend Edmund Halley who finally compelled Newton to compile his life's work into the greatest book ever written in science, the Principia de la Mathematica, where he talks about everything from the laws of motion to the law of gravity. It was by this time that the church had caught sight of Newton and tried to stop him, but due to the overwhelming facts and proof that the heliocentric theory was right, the church had to give up for one last stand. It was in 1822, almost a century after Newton's death, that the church accepted that the earth may go around the sun. Therefore, Sir Isaac Newton was right, Galileo was right, and all others who worked towards this magnificent feat was right, and therefore the church was down. So thanks for watching this video. If you like it, subscribe to my channel. Find me on social media.